Kasi pag incest, 'di ba kung consensual, kung pumayag naman kayong dalawa na mangyari yun, bakit siya yung hindi ano yung ano, hindi I mean hindi okay na ipa-terminate mo yun kasi pumayag ka or pareho kayong pumayag doon sa part na yun. Medically speaking, nandoon siya, alam mo na viable siya, alam ng mother that there's a beating heart that takes place, and then you are terminating it, then that's the time that you are killing an unborn.
Philosophically speaking kasi, ang concept ko ng life is unless it can survive outside of the womb by itself, it cannot be considered a life. Most of the people that are willing to adopt comes from the middle class or the affluent families, which is not a lot when it comes to the Philippines.
Para sa inyo, yung abortion ba ay makabubuti o makasasama doon sa mother?
Kasi biologically speaking, may risk pa rin yan either way. Of course, there are documented cases na ang abortionist nagko-cause din sila ng medical risk. And pero there are some cases na meron silang benefits. It's a two-way street, pero kasi I believe in na I don't just look at the biological aspect kasi I look din sa overall holistic aspect niya, like what psychologically speaking anong mas makakabuti sa kanila, then economically speaking anong mas makakabuti sa kanila, financially speaking, kumbaga are they truly ready to shoulder that big of a commitment, that big of a responsibility, since having a child is a lifetime commitment nga tulad ng sabi ko. So biologically speaking may risk both either way. Pero I'm looking at the psychological and economical aspect. I believe mas outweigh niya yung biological.
So, sa akin naman, maraming aspects na pwedeng syempre makakatulong talaga yon sa isang babae. At the same time, pag marami naman ng inilabas or kung kunwari marami din naman naging anak, merong pros and cons pa rin naman talaga yon. Pero at the same time, still, yung commitment or yung nagva-vary kasi na when it comes to terminating that pregnancy is still hindi pa rin siya pwedeng mangyari, lalo na kung nangyari na lang yun ng basta-basta or dahil nga sa unwanted siya or anything. It's the same as, yes, biologically speaking, meron. Yes, mentally speaking, lahat ng aspects or sabihin na natin, holistically speaking, may mga matatap pa rin talaga na mga aspects when it comes to the pregnant mother or the mother itself, then the mother herself, and dun sa unborn na bata. Pero, yun nga, bakit nga ba yung bata pa rin yung, di ba? Yung baby pa rin or yung unborn na yun pa rin yung parang pwedeng maging bad result para lang hindi siya matuloy or something.
Okay, sige. Pero bago tayo dumako dyan, definition of terms ulit tayo. Naniniwala ba kayo na yung abortion ay equivalent sa pagkitil ng buhay?
For me, it depends kung paano mo siya kasi gagawin eh. So there's this medically acceptable abortion, like yung preterm abortion, or nangyari siya na nagdugo, hindi inaasahan ng mother, that the baby, miscarriage, or yun nga yung kanina na napunta siya sa labas ng uterus, pangalawa, or hindi siya na-fertilize sa tama or sa uterus nga. Then, kung kunwari, tama naman yung mga pangyayari, okay, medically speaking, nandoon siya, alam mo na viable siya, alam ng mother that there's a beating heart that takes place, and then you are terminating it, then that's the time that you are killing an unborn or a life itself.
Medically speaking, I do agree na yun nga, it's killing a life kasi nga there's a beating heart na there. Especially kung like sobrang like nag-progress na talaga siya. Pero philosophically speaking kasi, ang concept ko ng life is unless it can survive outside of the womb by itself, it cannot be considered a life. Kasi once a baby is born, they can already survive. They just need love and support from their parents. Pero once a fetus is prematurely born, they need a lot of medical equipments just for them to stay alive. What is that philosophically speaking, what kind of life is that? Kung mananatili ka na lang mananatili kang nakahook sa monitors and laging nasa bingit ng kamatayan ng buhay mo. Parang for me life starts itself kapag nagsimula kang matuto or parang magsimula kang mag-perceive ng something. So like medically speaking, it is killing killing an organism. Philosophically speaking, I don't believe that it's killing a life specifically.
So philosophically, para sa iyo, no? Ang masasabi mo kung killing siya or not depends on how you define life.
Yes.
Okay, sige. Pero bago tayo mag-proceed sa discussion natin, no, it's important na maintindihan, especially ng ating mga viewers, na kung pag-uusapan natin ay yung Revised Penal Code. No, sa Revised Penal Code 256 to 259, obviously criminal offense, no, ang abortion, at may iba't ibang uri pa nga. No, may iba't ibang categories pa nga ng abortion penalized. May tinatawag na intentional, may unintentional, may abortion by the woman herself, and abortion by the attending physician or yung midwife. Diba? So, yun, it's important na anuman yung maging resulta ng debate natin ngayon, huwag tayong gagawa ng krimen. Okay? Hindi natin pinopromote na gumawa ng krimen. Okay, next question natin is, naniniwala rin ba kayo na ang bawat isang taong nabubuhay ay may karapatan sa kanyang sariling katawan?
Oo, meron. Karapatan niya yon. And actually, it's up to her or up to kahit sino naman talaga. Kung ano man yung gusto niyang gawin sa body niya, ay, kumbaga, karapatan niya yun kasi siya yon. Kung magiging masaya siya, kung anong mas maging masaya siya, nandoon siya. Kasi yun yung purpose niya. Pero, still, for me, yung purpose na yon, it should not be parang dahil masaya ka, pwede ka nang magsalita ng hindi maganda to others, na parang, yes, masaya ka dun sa itsura mo, masaya ka dun sa and then dahil dun sa itsura mo, tas magagamit mo siya para parang mangliit ng iba, or may gumawa ka ng krimen into somehow na hindi, or na hindi talaga siya tama, morally speaking, na hindi siya tama na kasi you are above dahil nga yun yung karapatan na meron ka dun sa sarili mo. Kasi minsan ganun yung nangyayari eh. Ayun, so yes, karapatan mo yun, pero at the same time, hindi mo karapatan na gamitin yung sarili mo to hurt anyone.
When we talk about freedom naman, it still has limitations, correct? So for you, kasama sa limitations yung abortion? Na may karapatan kang pumili pero hindi kasama dun yung karapatan mo na mag-abort ng bata?
Yes, because it's criminal, kumbaga, it's a murder, una. And syempre, krimen pa rin yun since it's under the law. And if ever man, lalo na kung unwanted yan, tapos you're killing it, then it's totally hindi accepted or hindi, kumbaga, yun na yung out of your limits na eh. Kumbaga, karapatan mo siya, pero hindi mo siya pwedeng gawin kasi kasi buhay yan eh.
For me naman, I do believe in freedom and autonomy of person over one's body. Pero yun nga, sabi ni Miss, it has limitation kasi. For me, I do believe that everyone has a choice, but you have to live with that choice that you are going to make. Kasi every choice has a consequences, good or bad. So whether you do an abortion, whether you decide to have an abortion, that's your choice. Pero you have to live with the consequences that comes with that. Whether you decide to become a mother even though you don't want to, that's still your choice. Pero you have to live with the consequences of that. So for me, you have the freedom, but you also freedom also means that you also have to take the consequences that it can give you. So I'm advocating for that freedom kasi kasi at the same time it's your civil right, pero at the same time it allows you to to at least think about your decision kasi. Kasi every decision has a consequence. We can't get rid of the consequence. Abortion has a consequence. Carrying a child to term has a consequence, pero it's just a matter of what consequence are you okay with living with.
Okay, do you categorize yourself as a pro-choice?
Yes, I categorize myself as a pro-choice kasi I'm not pro-abortion. I'm pro-choice. I advocate for the option that every woman should have the option to have an abortion, and for women to not have an abortion if they don't want to. Kasi kumbaga, since pro-choice ako, whatever you decide, that's up to you. I'm not gonna enforce my belief on that, on what you should and what shouldn't do, because it's your body, your choice. Pero what I'm saying is, abortion should not be taken out of that option, because it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Isa sa mga common arguments or counter-arguments ng mga pro-lifers dyan is, if your body, your choice ang panghahawakan mo, hindi mo naman yung katawan ng bata? Bakit mo siya? What makes you think na may karapatan ka na kitilin yung buhay ng batang yan?
For me naman kasi, yun nga, from my opinion kasi, a life starts once it can perceive something. Sure yung wala kang karapatan na patayin yung bata, pero paano naman yung karapatan ko sa sarili ko? Unless we can invent something na pwedeng mag-conceive ng bata for us outside of our womb, it still remains that it's still your choice. Do I want a child to remain inside me, in my body, or am I okay with terminating another living being na may rights din, kumbaga? Kumbaga, it's still your choice. It's a conundrum talaga, like, on one hand it's murder, on one hand it's not. Am I okay with killing, or am I okay with prioritizing my life? I cannot truly answer it fully kasi it's a philosophical question that doesn't really have a full answer to it unless we know what is the meaning of life itself.
Wala, okay naman yung sabi niya.
Okay. So, Miss Mara, since ikaw yung against, no? Ikaw yung hindi sumasang-ayon na dapat gawing legal yung abortion. But sa tingin niyo ba may mga gray areas na dapat nating i-allow na isagawa yung abortion?
The gray areas ay, yung nakikita ko lang, like, kung kunwari, ito ay makakasama talaga dun sa health ni mother. Like, kung kunwari, they are cancer patients, and then they suddenly conceive. So, it's up to the couple, diba, kung i-go or push through yun, kasi nga, sobrang weak ng body ni mother. At the same time, kung kunwari, ano pa ba?
Yung chemotherapy kasi is toxic sa
Yes, that's another thing. If the chemo, syempre, kung masusurvive ba nung bata yung chemo, or syempre hindi naman talaga maa-allow na magpa-chemo yung mother. Sabi ko
once
nga,
buntis siya.
yes, it's up to the couple. Kasi it's taking that, yung mother talaga yung magte-take ng risk mostly doon. And then, yung other factors na risking the health of the mother herself, yun lang yung pinaka-gray area na nakikita ko. But then, kung kunwari, iba pa na, like,
Ectopic pregnancy.
yes, ectopic pregnancy din is, actually, wala naman talagang, not unless mahugot or via, kunin yon tapos ilagay as, ang tag dito, test tube baby. Kasi yun na yung bago ngayon, di ba? Test tube baby, kunin, and then surrogate motherhood. Pero hindi pa rin naman siya abortion kasi inilagay mo lang naman yung fertilized na ovum dun sa ibang na ibang babae.
Kasi nga, definition ng abortion is to
yes,
terminate
it's
the pregnancy.
termination. So, parang yun lang, medically speaking, yung health, yung nag-take risk, yun yung pinaka-gray area na actually natatanggap siya kasi nga yung mismong magdadala yung magsasuffer.
Pero in your practice ba na experience mo na yun na mag-abort ka ng isang nagbubuntis dahil sa ectopic pregnancy?
May mga nakita ako or like oo, kasi kinakailangan talaga na. Kasi ectopic nga.
Magkakaroon ng internal bleeding kasi.
Yes, ayun pa yung isa. The bleeding goes on, off, or sobrang bleeding din naman kasi kapag ganun. And hindi talaga siya maiwasan na mangyari. So, ganun siya. Kaya, yes, nasasama siya sa practice.
Kasi mataas din yun. Chance na pareho lang din sila mamamatay. Diba? So in that case, ang mas pipiliin mong mabuhay yung mother.
As per sa natin, sa practice, yes.
Pero when it comes to abortion, I think ikaw yung maganda mag-discuss nito, Ms. Mara. Meron bang mga health implications sa isang babae na magpapa-abort?
Oo, actually marami. Meron akong mga napanood na videos from, syempre yung mga OB-GYN, yan. Meron syempre pro-choice, lalo na, pro-abortion from, syempre sa ibang bansa, ganyan. Una, may complications, sabi nga nung OB-GYN na napanood ko, may complications siya, lalo na kung nagpapa-abort or lumapit yung babae na magpapa-abort sa hindi naman license. Kasi minsan, hindi ko alam dito sa bansa natin kasi nga US doctor yung napanood ko, no? Kung lalapit ka nga kasi sa hindi license, tapos yung parang nagkaroon ng, tas masusugat talaga yung uterus, then magugulat ka, bleeding goes on and on, tapos saka ka lang papasok sa totoong OB-GYN. Okay. Doon mismong risky. Una, yung complications. So, yung una, yung bleeding. Pangalawa, syempre, meron din yung mahihilo ka. Parang ganun din sa mga nagbuntis or something. Pero at the end of the day, kung tama naman yung process na nagpa-abort ka, or should I say, na-abort to kasi may medical condition ka, then, sooner or later, may mga risk na lesser siya kasi kapag tama yung ways daw na kung paano siya ginawa. Lalo na kung license yun na medical practitioner. Pero kung hindi, dun kasi papasok yung marami like infection. Dun din pwedeng, kung kailan mo gustong magkaanak, hindi ka na magkaanak kasi nga mali yung nangyari nung una na dun ka nagpunta sa hindi naman license or something.
Sterilization.
Yes. Kakaroon ng problema yung mga ganon. But then, at the end of the day, yung pinaka matindi kasi na parang kailangan i-address, lalo na sa abortion, syempre, is yung mental health status ng babae. Kasi, yun yung parang, kung ginusto nyo man yon at first, pero feeling ko kasi, meron siyang after effect na ginusto niya yon, pero at the same time, yun nasa isip niya na what if, yun kasi yung parang after effect na isa doon. Na parang, what if tinuloy ko kaya yun? What if ganito kaya yung ginawa ko? Siguro ganito na yun. So parang doon pa lang, madidepress pa siya. So magkakaroon na naman ng internal battle yung babae. Tas yun yung parang stigmatized na naman na, hala hindi ko, tas wala siyang makausap. Hindi niya pwedeng sabihin or anything. Pero okay lang naman yun kung ayaw niya talagang sabihin. Pero at the end of the day, yun yung mga parang, for me, those are the implications na complications-wise, biologically, psychologically, physically, mentally, na pwedeng maging battle ng mga babae, lalo na when it comes to abortion. Lalo na din kasi meron siyang stigma sa Philippines.
I would just like to add, I would just like to support yung sinabi din niya na abortion can also cause mental health problems kasi when it comes to abortion, when it comes to carrying a pregnancy, yung estrogen level mo tumataas and your oxytocin din. This is yung tinatawag nating maternal instinct ng mother. Once you conceive an embryo or a fetus, tumataas na yon. Pero once you do a sudden abortion kasi, bukod sa magdudugo from the drugs and the procedure, yung bigla ang pagbaba ng hormone and neurotransmitter level mo, magkakause yun ng sudden depressive state sa mismong babae. And sometimes, yung mga pasyente na yon, hindi nila kinakayang depressive state na yon. So yun yung mga nagiging risk din ng abortion.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move on and pag-usapan naman natin yung pagre-rely ng marami sa abortion as a form of birth control. Anong masasabi niyo dun?
I believe abortion should be a safety net rather than a birth control. Birth control is taken before the conception of the child kasi like condoms, plan B. Pero since yun nga napaka-limited pa ng yun nga yung birth control and access sa Philippines, doon tayo pumupunta sa abortion. Now, I believe kasi, personally speaking, ang abortion should not be the main birth control kasi abortion is taken once once you're already pregnant. Hindi ka na magbo-birth ka na noon eh. Pero I think abortion should be taken when all else fails. Kung meron ka na talagang life. Kasi I believe yun yung purpose talaga ng abortion, to be the safety net kung sakaling hindi gumana ang birth control.
For me, hindi. Hindi mo pwedeng hindi siya pwedeng safety net muna. Kasi nga ginawa niya na yun eh. Bakit na naman yung bata yung magte-take ng kasalanan ninyo or 'di ba? 'Di ba ginawa niyo nga yun una. Pangalawa, syempre, kaya nga naimbento yung mga birth control methods. Yan. Kaya nga sila nandyan. So, kung alam niyo na ginagawa niyo na yun, then you have to be mindful na kung ayaw niyo tong matuloy as pregnancy, then do something na magbe-birth control talaga kayo, lalo na kung you are being active, having those sexual activities, 'di ba? And hindi lang din naman unwanted pregnancy yung nako-control ng ng mga birth control methods, 'di ba? Yung iba kasama na diyan yung mga sexually transmitted diseases. Nako-control din 'yan. I mean, maiiwasan din 'yan lalo na if the couples are sexually active and hindi lang isa yung partners nila. Pero syempre, pangatlo, lalo na nandoon na tayo sa sexually transmitted diseases, dapat stick to one ka pa rin naman, 'di ba? Stick to one, and then sabi nga yung birth control, pero hindi meaning na dahil hindi mo ginagawa yon or hindi ka gumagamit ng mga birth control methods, and then the unwanted pregnancy happens, and then you are deciding, or the couple decides to have an abortion. So still, it's no.
Okay, so Miss Mara, kung isa-summarize natin yung sinasabi mo, kumbaga, for the couple, kung ginusto nyong gawin yan, dapat panindigan ninyo.
Yes.
Tanggapin ninyo yung consequences.
Yes.
Now, how about this? What if yung papaano yung mga cases ng rape or incest?
Okay. So, yan yung isa sa actually na parang sa isip ko, sobrang niyan eh, anong tawag dito? Sobrang tindi nung pangyayari. Don't get me wrong po, hindi pa ako na rape or anything or something, no. Pero nasa sa kanila, for me, kasi nasa sa kung sino man or kung kunwari nangyari yon, it's up to the to the mother or to the woman kung ano yung gusto niyang mangyari doon sa bata or anything. Pero still, abortion is not still not an excuse para hindi niya mabuhay yung bata. Kasi pwede naman niya yung ipa-adopt. Okay, pwede niya yung ipa-adopt. Pwede niyang parang, sige, kasi ganito. Pero in the long run, minsan, yung bata pa na yon is being, ano ba yun? Nagiging gift pa siya dun sa pangyayari. Pero syempre, kailangan may managot, lalo na if it's a rape. Pero kung kunwari,
Pero parang napaka-rare naman ng case na may pananagutan ng rapist yung...
hindi yung pananagutan na rather, ikulong siya. Yun yung meaning ko doon. Makulong yung rapist. Kasi hindi accepted yun. Kasi ni-rape niya eh. Yun yung part ko ha. Tapos at the same time, yun nga, kung ayaw nung mother nung dinadala niya. Kasi pwede na, may mga social governing bodies naman tayo na pwedeng makausap eh. Kung if ever na ayaw niya yun, pag lumabas yung bata, or merong mag-aampon dun sa bata or anything.
So for you, still dapat i-continue pa rin niya yung pregnancy?
Yes.
It's just that after ng pregnancy, pa-adapt.
Oo. Kung yun ang kasi kaysa naman kumbaga, kasalanan na, hindi naman kasalanan talaga ng bata.
Kaso, kung itutuloy niya yung pregnancy, especially kapag masyadong bata yung, na-rape, maapektuhan yung studies niya. Hindi ba? Pwede tumigil yung buhay niya. So, kumbaga, parang na-rape ka na nga, and at the same time, kailangan mo pang i-pause for a while yung buhay mo just to continue with the pregnancy. So, for you, pwede ba natin siyang i-consider as exception na yung mga victims ng rape, i-allow natin ang abortion? Or still, hard no ka pa rin?
Sabi ko nga, kung ano yung choice nila, kasi sa kanila yun nangyari.
But we're talking about the law. Dapat ba bigyan ng consideration? Kasi ngayon, illegal talaga ang abortion.
Actually, dahil natap mo yan, naalala ko lang, that's also one of the gray areas that needed na iayos kung paano yung pwedeng mangyari, lalo na dyan sa part na yan, if ever, in killing the unborn child, since it's from a not so good experience ng rape or incest man. Kasi pag incest, 'di ba, kung consensual, kung pumayag naman kayong dalawa na mangyari 'yun, bakit siya yung hindi okay na ipa-terminate mo 'yun kasi pumayag ka or pareho kayong pumayag doon sa part na 'yon. Pero doon sa rape victim, it's a gray area actually. I don't know kung anong pero kung pwede naman niyang ipa-adapt niya na.
And speaking of adoption, hindi na kita tatanungin kung dapat bang illegalize para sa mga incest and rape cases kasi by default, agree ka naman, di ba? Now, ang tanong ko is, kasi na-appreciate ko rin naman yung suggestion ni Ms. Mara na ipa-adopt na lang rather, yung mga bata na galing sa mga parents na hindi naman nila gusto. No? So, what do you think? Hindi kaya mas maganda kung yung budget na i-allocate sa pag-legalize ng abortion is i-donate na lang doon sa mga centers na nag-a-adopt ng mga bata?
For me kasi, money is can come a long way, pero kung ang system natin is bulok pa rin, that money will just go to waste. Not to mention kasi, most of the people that are willing to adopt comes from the middle class or the affluent families, which is not a lot when it comes to the Philippines. Like for example, kung yung mga parents na gusto talaga mag-adopt just to give someone a home, hindi sila ganun kapasok sa middle class. Paano na? Hindi ganun karami ang middle class and affluent sa atin sa Pilipinas. So ang system, in the end, marami pa ring mga bata sa system na may iwan. And sometimes, kung bulok naman yung system natin, kahit may budget tayo na paano na buhayin yung mga bata na yun nasa system, hindi natin magawa ng maayos kasi nga bulok yung system natin eh. So what I'm going to say to that is pwede naman na mas damihan pa natin yung sa adoption. Pero kung yung system ng adoption system is bulok pa rin, walang mangyayari. Pero I also still advocate for the fact na one thing can exist as the same thing as another. You can give more budget and a good system to the adoption just the same as you can give a budget and a better system for reproductive healthcare procedures like abortion.
Okay. So, for my last couple of questions, naniniwala naman kayo pareho na hindi abortion ang solusyon sa kaso ng mga unwanted pregnancies, correct? So, for you, safety net lang siya. Correct. So, kung hindi abortion ang solusyon, ano sa tingin niyo dapat na gawin nating go-to na solution para ma-prevent na natin yung mga unwanted pregnancy? Kasi, I know, papasok dito yung contraception, but as we all know, hindi naman siya 100% na nag-work. So, how do we prevent unwanted pregnancy?
Sige, ako muna. So, sa akin, yun nga, una, education talaga siya. Na yung education na yun, hindi lang siya maiiwan sa school. Hindi din siya pwede, syempre from the churches or from the pastors or syempre sa mga religious sectors, hindi lang din dapat sila yung nagsasabi ng ganito. Rather, it's a main thing sa loob ng household. Paano main thing? Kailangan kasing parang for me, pwede na nating medyo burahin yung part na paggagalitan mo yung bata or anything. Rather, we need to explain things sa kanila ng mas maigi. Since nandito na tayo sa mundo ng technology na lahat, isang pindot lang, lahat may cellphone, isang pindot lang makikita ang ganito, ang ganyan. Pwede namang lagyan ng, yung mamamask mo yung pwede nilang makita. Pero hindi din kasi yun yung pwedeng dahil may barrier lang, kaya ganun eh. Rather, it should be explained further, lalo na yung consequences na pwedeng mangyari sa ganito. Naalala ko dati, yung father namin, parang lagi niyang sinasabi, not nothing against those na naninigarilyo or anything, pero nakagisnan lang talaga namin na lagi niyang sinasabi na huwag kayong maninigarilyo kasi ito yung mga pwedeng mangyari. Huwag kayong manigarilyo kasi ito yung consequence or something. Hanggang sa syempre kami, oo, kasi dadating talaga yung point na, ay makikita mo lahat naninigarilyo. So pwede mong tikman. Kaya lang, yun nga, parang we are bearing in our minds na, hindi kasi okay na kami dahil nga sinabi yun. At the same time, yun na din yung point na parang, kapag ginawa nyo to nung jowa mo, etong pwedeng mangyari, eto yung pwedeng maging mangyari sa iyo in the future. At the same time, nakikita naman yung napapanood sa mga series eh. Tama? May mga series na nakikita tayo. So ako, parang kinagisnan ko lang din siya na parang, yun ba yung gusto kong mangyari sa akin? Na nung nagka-jowa ko, yun ba yung gusto kong mangyari na or anything? Pero sabi ko nga, ayoko kasi yun mangyari sa akin. Na hindi ako ready, hindi ako ganito. So I would not do the same thing na ginagawa nila. And then making this child or yun nga na mangyari kasi ginawa ko yun. And that's the consequence of what I did from before. So for me, it's a main thing na from the household itself, yun na yung dapat na maging culture eh. From every household na pag-usapan, na ikwento, or yung parents, pwede silang gumamit ng mga parang somebody na mas maintindihan ng mga bata. Kung paano nagsasalita yung mga bata or kung paano maintindihan yun ng mga bata. The same thing na kung paano dapat ma-explain yung consequences na yun para hindi siya mangyari. So, yun.
For me, yes, I do believe sa education din. But also, better family systems din. Kasi nga, naniniwala ko sa kasabihan ni Socrates, back then kasi sa panahon niya, ang main way to cure psychological trauma is to take away the child from the toxic family household. education is important. That's why kailangan din merong program ang government natin to give these parents the proper training in order for them to give the proper education, kasi mostly ang sex education lang ng mga bata back then is that wag kang magse-sex, magkakaanak ka, pero walang sinasabi na paano ko pipigilan na magkaanak ako bukod sa wag ako makipag-sex. There is education, just not the proper education. Aside from that, I would if I'm gonna be idealistic then, I would be like no stigma anymore. Pero that would just be a pipe dream that cannot happen practically. So I'm gonna go with the practical thing, which is proper education, not just in the household, but everywhere talaga. And sabi nga ni Miss, sa media din.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong dalawa. And unfortunately, we ran out of time. So sa ating pong mga viewers, let us know in the comment section, ano ba yung mga aspects na hindi natin natalakay ngayon? And let us know kung sino ba sa kanilang dalawa ang dapat nating paniwalaan. Muli, ako po si Armando Bibay at ito po ang Unbiased.